My tree keeps getting lower and lower. I don't know what to do about that. How can I aid the tree? Lately, I've been questioning myself about passion and what makes me passionate, because I don't want to have a job that I hate to do. You know, I want to have a job that I love doing and it brings me joy. And so I stress myself a lot about what I'm passionate about. And today I was asking myself, where does that passion drive from? Like, obviously within the heart, but I went deeper than that. Basically, I have about 5 major accomplishments that I want to achieve. And instead of just like saying, yeah, I want to achieve these, instead I asked myself why I want to achieve them. Like, why do I want to be a pilot? Why do I want to be a YouTuber? What does that bring me? You know, what does that accomplishment bring me? And by asking myself those questions, I was really able to figure out what my passion is and what drives me. It made me realize the contribution that I wish to give to the universe, to people, to God. It made me realize that these passions, I don't just want these passions because they sound nice. I want these passions because it's like a deeper calling within me that I know by attaining them, I'm living out my purpose. Right now, I believe that I'm still in tune with my purpose, and I've never like strayed away from where I'm supposed to be. Purpose is a tricky question, you know? Because a lot of people, even like my father, or I just know a lot of people who are doing jobs that they hate just because they have to make money. And that's not how I want to live my life. I want to live my life pursuing something that I love and allowing money to come after that, because I'm doing something that I love. And with God being my unfailing supply, I know that money will always come to me. I don't have to work at McDonald's just to pay rent. You know, there's other ways. Also, my view on money has changed a lot too, but I'm the type of person where I never really had like major life goals. I literally developed passion, ambition, a drive this year. All those things came to me this year. That fire in my heart was never lit completely. It was more like smoking, you know, in terms of how passionate I was about finding something to do in life, you know. I was on the path road to just doing a job that I hate in the name of money. But thankfully, I have been graced with time, and I've been able to develop that passion inside of me to have goals. I want to give a shout out to Earl. I want to give a shout out to Bob. I want to give out a shout out to Florence. I want to give a shout out to Dorothea. I want to give a shout out to God. I want to give a shout out to my family. I want to give a shout out to myself. I want to give a shout out to Napoleon Hill. I want to give a shout out to my K-pop idols, to my anime, whatever, you know. Because of all of that, I know what I want my purpose in life to be, what it is, and what I have to do to make sure I live through that purpose, and live through that purpose, and what I have to do to make it come true. So if you were struggling with finding your purpose like me, the only true way that you can find it is, it sounds cliche, but you have to look within. You have to ask yourself, what inspires you? One thing that I've learned when it comes to the power of success is that in order to be successful, you have to service others. Every successful man, woman that you know, they are rich in life because they have serviced others. Think about musicians. Musicians service us with their great music, with their performance, you know, like, and they invoke a feeling within us. and they inspire. Another thing that you can do to try and find that fire within you is what I did was I dabbled into philosophy. So like the people who I shouted out earlier, Bob, I was scrolling on YouTube and I got recommended Bob Proctor, and he changed everything. That was like the mindset shift. Bob introduced me to Earl Nightingale, and Earl Nightingale introduced me to Napoleon Hill, but Earl also introduced me to Dorothea, and I found Florence on my own, but reading those books, like, gosh, it makes you want to live like you never lived before. And I've literally seen my life change like that the minute I started applying what they teach. I'm telling you guys, I plan on making a video about this, but I can show literal proof of how quick that shit worked. I'm telling you. I want to live like no other. I want to be in rooms like no other. And that's what they invoked within me. Another way that I found passion within myself was, once again, I asked myself the hard questions like, what inspires me? What contribution do I want to make to the world? What do I want in life? You know, you're not just living because you happen to be born. You're living because of other forces that are keeping you alive. And because of that, you should use the best of your free will to do everything in your power to live the fullest you can. And I cannot stress this enough, you guys. You are what you think about. Your subconscious mind is what makes you who you are. The average human only uses 10% of their consciousness, and the rest of their brain, the 90%, just goes to waste. Their consciousness, their subconsciousness is ruling them. And I cannot stress this enough. If you want to make a major change in your life, you have to figure out what your daily habits are, and you have to change them. If you think negative thoughts all day long, you will be negative. You will attract negativity. They don't say that for no reason, because this is why it's also important to know quantum physics. But everything is literally an energy. Everything vibrates, everything has a frequency, and when you vibrate on that negative frequency, you're on that plane. I can't remember the last negative thing that has happened in my life, besides RJ dying. That's like, I can't remember the last negative event that happened in my life, because I'm not operating on a negative mental field. I'm operating on a positive success mental field. And I know it sounds easier said than done, but trust me, it took a lot of work for me to get to this point too. And what I realized the other day is, as much as being sad is a conscious effort, so is being happy. It takes so much effort to be happy, but it also takes even more effort to be sad. Just knowing that, it's like whenever I catch myself even feeling down, you have to have awareness, is what I'm saying. You have to have awareness of what your thoughts are, your current state of emotion, and that is how you will be able to change your habit into something that will benefit you in the long term. Basically, your habits are everything. That is truly what determines. Also, if you really want another kicker, optimistic people make way more money than people who are pessimistic. People who are happy make way more money than people who are sad. Me, I love money. I'm sure you love money. I'm sure you don't want to live life knowing that there's so much more money that you can get, but you're not able to get that money because you're operating on a negative field. You're operating on a negative plane. Therefore, it's drowning down your income. I would hate to know that I'm the reason why I'm not getting as much money as I possibly can, all because I want to wallow in self-pity, thinking about all the things that I should have, could have done, all the things that should have happened, all the things that I wish would have happened. What about all the things that are now? I tell myself every day, whenever I feel myself getting impatient, I say the when doesn't matter in the now. The where doesn't matter in the now. All that matters is the now, because in the now is the present, is the past. In the now is the future. In the now is the past. Everything, everywhere, all at once. You're sad because you want to be sad. You're sad because it's been a habit to be sad. You're sad because you love it. You love feeling sad. You love talking bad about yourself, which is why you do it every day, 30 times, 10 times, 50 times, 100 times. You love believing that you can never be who you truly want to be because of exterior forces. You believe that things happen to you and not for you. And you know, as someone who was born with depression, not because I chose to be born, but because it's genetic, so it got passed down to me. But as someone who also battles with mental problems, mental issues, whatever you want to call it, you have to remember that you are in control of your mind, you are in control of your life, and if you want to let your emotions control you, so be it. That's the life that you are settling for. Remember, nobody can make you do anything. Nobody can cause you to say anything. Nobody can cause you to live the life that you don't want to live. Nobody can cause you to live the life that you do want to live. Everything is up to you. We have free will. We have free fucking will. We have free will. And it's not to say just like become selfish, but I'm saying we have free will to do anything we put our minds to. If you see your neighbor becoming a millionaire, guess what? The same forces that drove him are inside of you. Your friend got that internship, the same forces that gave your friend that internship are within you. You just have to draw that power out. And a trick that I do whenever I'm sad is, because you know, I just get random waves of sadness. I just get sad for no reason. And I ask myself, I say, Deja, what's wrong? Deja, why are you sad? A lot of the times, I can't figure out an answer. And because of that, I make a conscious effort to change my emotion to a more happier state. Because it does get easy to just be sad. It does get easy to look at what we don't have and what we wish to have. But when you look in the now, you'll realize that you have everything you ever wished for. You'll realize that everything you ever wanted is already happening. You'll realize that everything that you want to be is what you are. People get to where they want to be in life. People are where they are because of their mindset. It's all about your mindset. That plays a huge role in who you'll become in life. That plays a huge role in how you interact with people. That plays a huge role in what you'll achieve. Your mindset is everything. And when you find yourself doubting yourself, remember to have faith. Because desire backed by faith knows no bounds. You have to act as though it's impossible to fail. You have to get failure out of your subconscious. You have to realize where you might be failing in life and how you can stop that from happening. You have to realize that things happen for you and not to you. One of my favorite quotes that I've discovered recently, it goes like this. When you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at changes. Meaning, it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. I'm telling you. And to go deeper into that, why it's so important to be aware of your emotions is because our brains operate. Emotions drive us. Emotions are what control our decisions. So if you are able to control your emotions in any current moment, you are able to change your perspective for the better. You are able to solve your own problems. You are able to think clearer. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, but I plan on making more videos like these, only because it's something like, because I've managed to change my mindset for the better. I just want to share that recipe, you know. Being able to change your perspective is literally the key to life, okay? And if you are struggling to actively change your perspective in like a moment or just any situation, ask yourself, what would it be like if absolutely nothing in this situation needed to change? And I'm sure you'll find the answer that you're looking for. You'll find that mindset change. You'll find that one thing that's icking you, and you'll be able to change it. If you also struggle with changing your emotions and just you wallow away in your own self-pity, beating yourself up consciously and continuously, not everything you think is true. Not everything you experience is true. Which is why your perspective is so important, because your perspective is what you will determine to be true. Just because you're feeling that emotion so strongly doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it a fact. It just makes it an emotion. You are not your emotions. Emotions are a feeling. Emotions go and come. You know, we experience over 400 emotions constantly, every single day. And if you think you're stuck, you're not stuck. It's literally impossible to ever be stuck. The world spins. The universe spins. Everything is constantly expanding. Everything is constantly moving. Therefore, you are moving with it. As the universe expands, we are expanding with it. We can never be stuck. Not when we're always in a constant state of motion. Stillness isn't an action, it's a mindset. Another one of my favorite quotes that goes along with that is from Earl Nightingale. He says, we are always going he says, we came from someplace and we're always going someplace. Which means no matter where we are in the journey, we're always going to a destination. Even the universe, we don't know where it's going. We don't know why the universe expands. We don't know how far it's going to expand, if it'll ever stop expanding. But we just know that it's going to someplace. Whether it's the great attractor, whether it's a black hole, we're always going someplace.